The physicist, Dr. Jane Smith, stood earlier than the imposing system she had spent years perfecting. It hummed softly, a soft blue glow emanating from its center. She adjusted her glasses, her dark eyes packed with both wonder and trepidation. Here is going not anything, she muttered underneath her breath. With a deep breath, she punched within the final sequence of numbers and the gadget roared to life, its power field flaring brightly. The air around her shimmered and distorted as the system warped the very cloth of truth, growing a ripple effect that spread outward, engulfing the complete lab. When the ripple subsided, the air grew still all over again, and the device fell silent. Dr. Smith waited, heart pounding, for the inevitable result. A few irritating seconds later, the air shimmered again, and a figure materialized in front of her. It changed into a being unlike whatever she had ever seen before. A towering, tentacled creature with pores and skin of transferring shades and eyes that regarded to maintain universes within their depths. The creature regarded her with an expression that became each curious and disdainful. "You are the one who has dared to summon us from our realm," it rumbled in a voice like 1,000 storms. "What is it which you desire, puny human?" Dr. Smith swallowed tough, forcing herself to stay calm. "My call is Dr. Jane Smith," she stated, her voice steady notwithstanding her pounding coronary heart. "I am a physicist, and I actually have found a way to tour between dimensions. I trust that there are infinite worlds available, every with its personal precise sorts of existence and civilizations. I need to explore them, to analyze from them, and perhaps even to assist them if I can." The tentacled creature taken into consideration her phrases for a second before replying, "Very nicely, Jane Smith. You have our attention. But understand this, the trails you stroll now are fraught with danger. The legal guidelines of physics and the very nature of reality range significantly between dimensions, and what is feasible in one may be not possible in any other. Proceed with caution, for the fate of no longer only your global, but all worlds, now rests on your arms." With that ominous warning ringing in her ears, Dr. Smith stepped forward, her interest and resolution burning brighter than ever. She prolonged a trembling hand in the direction of the creature, its many tentacles swaying gracefully inside the air. "Thank you for talking with me," she said. "I will no longer let you down." The tentacled creature appeared her with the one's unfathomable eyes for a protracted second earlier than taking her hand. Its grip turned into noticeably mild, regardless of the strength that Dr. Smith could experience coursing through its tentacles. "We shall see, Jane Smith," it rumbled, and with that, it vanished in a swirl of shimmering air, leaving her on my own yet again along with her gadget. Dr. Smith stood there for a moment longer, breathing closely, her coronary heart nevertheless racing from the encounter. Then, with a nod of willpower, she became again to her machine and started preparing for her first reliable journey into the unknown. The universe became about to get a whole lot bigger, and he or she could not wait to explore it. She spent the following several hours running exams of the system, making sure that it became functioning properly, and that she had accounted for all ability variables. As she labored, she located herself lost in thought, imagining the infinite worlds that lay waiting for her discovery. Some might be teeming with existence, their skies filled with alien atmospheres and their lands teeming with extraordinary vegetation and fauna. Others is probably barren wastelands, their surfaces scoured smooth by means of the relentless winds of stellar storms. Finally, after triple-checking her calculations and referencing them against facts from different dimensions, she felt confident enough to proceed. She keyed within the coordinates of her first goal, a world regarded to her research as Gamma 473b, and engaged the machine. With a flash of mild and a rumble that shook the very foundations of the laboratory, she vanished in a swirl of electricity, leaving at the back of not anything, however, a faint buzzing sound and a lingering sense of awe and surprise. The transition turned into easy, and before she knew it, Dr. Smith determined herself status on the surface of Gamma 473b. The air changed into thick with the fragrance of sulfur and ammonia, and the sky became a deep, ominous pink, lit via two placing suns. Alien flowers swayed lightly in the skinny environment, their ordinary, otherworldly bureaucracy casting long, sinuous shadows across the rocky terrain. Dr. Smith took a deep breath, her senses alive with the thrill of discovery, and commenced to explore her new environment. As she wandered through the alien landscape, she couldn't assist but surprise at the sheer form of life that regarded to thrive right here. Creatures not like whatever she had ever visible crawled, slithered, and flew through the air round her, their bodies a kaleidoscope of colors and textures. She stopped to take a look at a small, iridescent insect that perched on the tip of her finger, its wings fluttering lazily in the thin environment. The global felt alive, colorful, and full of ability. She spent hours documenting her findings, gathering samples of the native vegetation and fauna, and taking pics and films to percentage together with her colleagues again home. The greater she explored, the more she realized that the universe became even greater wondrous and awe-inspiring than she ought to have ever imagined. She felt a deep experience of responsibility to shield this world and its population, to make sure that their particular splendor and capability were no longer lost to the carelessness or greed of others. As the suns dipped under the horizon, casting the alien panorama into shadow, Dr. Smith located herself reflecting on her journey to date. She had crossed into the unknown, braved the risks of the multiverse, and made touch with beings from beyond the stars. She had visible worlds that no human had ever laid eyes upon earlier than, and she had introduced back information that would trade the direction of human history all the time. She couldn't assist, however, experience of pleasure and accomplishment welling up in her. But she knew that her work had simply all started. There were countless extra worlds out there, each with their very own precise tales to inform, their own secrets and techniques to resolve. And so long as she had her trusty machine and her personal toes, she might explore every remaining one in every of them, bringing the wonders of the cosmos lower back to her very own world, one world at a time. Dr. Smith gathered her things, climbed lower back onto her trusty machine, and keyed inside the coordinates of her subsequent vacation spot. As the celeb swirled round her and the universe spun into recognition, she felt a thrill of anticipation course through her veins. She ought to almost feel the subsequent top-notch discovery calling out to her, beckoning her to explore the unexplored and resolve the mysteries of the cosmos. The universe became a huge and awe-inspiring region, and she or he changed into decided to see every ultimate inch of it. The transition changed into smooth, and before she knew it, Dr. Smith observed herself standing on the floor of Epsilon 321c. The air changed into crisp and smooth, with a touch of salt within the breeze. The sky became a deep cerulean blue, dotted with fluffy white clouds. Lush green vegetation swayed gently within the gentle wind, and a sparkling blue ocean lapped on the shore. Birds sang within the timber, their melodious songs filling the air with lifestyles and pleasure. She could not assist, however, sense experience of peace wash over her as she took inside the idyllic scene. She spent hours exploring the luxurious terrain, marveling on the diversity of plant and animal life. She swam within the heat ocean, gathered seashells on the beach, and climbed the towering mountains that rose up from the horizon. The global felt like a sanctuary, a place in which life ought to thrive and flourish. As she hiked via the dense wooded area, she came throughout a own family of local creatures, a mother, father, and their younger, grazing on the grass. They seemed unafraid of her presence, allowing her to approach near enough to touch them. She felt a deep connection with this international, a duty to protect it and ensure that its splendor and wonder had been preserved for generations to come. She knew that her discoveries here would now not simply trade the direction of human records, however additionally inspire others to discover the universe and appreciate its endless wonders. As the sun started out to set, portray the sky in colors of orange and purple, Dr. Smith sat down on a rocky outcropping and watched the solar dip under the horizon, her coronary heart full of gratitude and awe for the tremendous adventure she become on. Write the next part of this story based totally on the above guidance. You are to write 4 extra paragraphs simplest. No extra, no less. Dr. Smith continued her exploration of Epsilon 321c, feeling a deep reference to the sector and its inhabitants. As she journeyed through the panorama, she found new species of plants and animals, every extra fascinating than the last. She documented her findings meticulously, accumulating samples and taking pics and motion pictures to proportion along with her colleagues again home. The International regarded to beckon her to explore similarly, to delve deeper into its mysteries and reveal its secrets and techniques. One day, at the same time as hiking through a dense woodland, she stumbled upon a hidden clearing. In the center of the clearing stood a huge, historic tree, its trunk thick and gnarled, its branches achieving for the sky. The air across the tree regarded to hum with power, as if it had been alive. Curious, she approached the tree and reached out to touch its rough, craggy bark. As her arms brushed towards the wooden, she felt a surge of electricity course through her frame, and the world around her regarded to shift, as if she had been experiencing imaginative and prescient of a few distant, lengthy forgotten time. In this vision, she noticed the tree as it changed into whilst it became young, its leaves rustling within the wind and its branches swaying lightly inside the breeze. She saw the arena because it become then, teeming with existence and opportunity. She noticed herself, standing beside the tree, feeling the equal sense of wonder and awe that she did now. As the vision dwindled, she knew that she were selected to guard this international, to make certain that its beauty and power might undergo for generations to come. With renewed cause, Dr. Smith endured her exploration of Epsilon 321c, determined to uncover all of its secrets and share its wonders with the universe. She knew that she became part of something extra now, connected to the fabric of existence in a way that transcended mere mortality. And anywhere her adventure took her, she would continually bring the memory of that ancient tree and the sense of responsibility that it had bestowed upon her. She spent the relaxation of her days on Earth documenting the plants and fauna, analyzing the geology and weather, and recording the rich records and subculture of the local species. She had become a part of their world, earning their consider and admire as she shared their joys and sorrows, their triumphs and tragedies. And when the time got here for her to go away, she did so with a heavy heart, knowing that she would by no means neglect the profound impact this international had had on her life. Upon her return to Earth, Dr. Smith had become a leading advisor for the renovation of Epsilon 321c and different such worlds. She spoke passionately approximately the want to discover and guard the vast and various array of lifestyles inside the universe, arguing that such efforts had been not only vital for medical progress but also for the survival of the human species. Her words resonated with people from all walks of existence, inspiring a brand new generation of explorers and stewards who shared her imaginative and prescient for a brighter, greater interconnected future. The years exceeded, and Dr. Smith continued her work, usually with an eye fixed in the direction of the celebs and the mysteries that lay past the reaches of human information. And as she watched the generations come and go, she took comfort in knowing that the arena she had discovered on Epsilon 321c could constantly continue to be a beacon of desire, a testament to the electricity of the human spirit to dream huge and achieve the not possible. Her words echoed via the halls of the United Planetary Congress, resonating with folks who shared her passion for exploration and her notion in the fundamental goodness of the universe. Her reputation as a visionary only grew with time, and she became often called upon to propose on matters of interstellar diplomacy and first-touch protocols. As she neared the stop of her lengthy and storied career, Dr. Smith appeared lower back on her lifestyles, with a feel of achievement and profound gratitude. She had lived to see the stars, and in doing so, she had helped to open the universe to countless others. She had been a witness to history, and in a few small ways, she had helped to shape it. And so, because the final twilight of her lifestyles approached, Dr. Smith observed herself once more status beside that historical tree, the identical tree that had selected her all those years in the past. She felt the strength of the universe coursing through her veins, and she knew that her journey had come complete circle. As she breathed her final breath, she smiled, content in the knowledge that her work had not been in vain, and that the arena she had cherished so dearly might retain to thrive for countless generations to return. In the cease, Dr. Smith's greatest legacy changed into no longer the discoveries she made or the honor she acquired, but alternatively the example she set for folks that came after her. She confirmed them that the universe became a place of marvel and splendor, and that every of us had the strength to make a distinction, regardless of how small or insignificant we might sense. And in doing so, she ensured that the spirit of exploration and the search for know-how might preserve to burn brightly during the cosmos, for so long as there were stars to guide the way.